Welcome to this step-by-step walkthrough of our all-in-one business management Google Sheet. This tool is designed to streamline and enhance your business operations by centralizing client management, communication, task tracking, invoicing, and financial oversight all in one place. Whether you're looking to organize appointments, track income and expenses, or gain valuable insights into your business finances, this Google Sheet offers everything you need to improve productivity and drive growth. In this video, I will walk you through the key features and show you how to make the most out of this powerful tool to take your business to the next level. So let's go. So it starts with the setup here. First of all, you do set the setup for the currency. When you put a currency here or paste a currency symbol here, you will find it reflected in everywhere in the sheet like this and that here. So this is just by you do this little modification, and this is the nature of the setup here. You do a change here, it reflects in the whole sheet. Then you tell the sheet when does your week start. Does it start on Sunday or Monday? Then when does your 12 months as a company start, whether it starts in June or in January, or other companies they start in March. You just choose the month here and the year. Here also you will need to write down your company information, the name, the address, the zip code and the city, the phone, the email, and the website. This will reflect automatically in the invoices that you print for your clients here. So in the printer you will find the logo here and the website here, the company name, the address, and all the information that you did enter here in the setup. To insert your logo, you just click here in this area and you click insert and image and you choose insert in a cell. Remember to choose insert in a cell, not over cells. And then you click on browse, you choose the image and double click and you will find it uploaded here automatically. This is how you do the setup or this is how you upload your logo. Here, this part is the setup for the client's database and communications, which are these tabs here, two tabs here. First of all, the client types. So you are going in the database, you will write down the client name and you will choose the client type. So these are the list of client types. So if I want to add another client type here in the setup, for example, I want to add client type as manufacturer. For example, if I go to the client's database here and open the drop-down list, I'll find the type that I added here. So all you need to do is to add or delete any types from the setup tab here to affect this drop-down list. Also, there is the client nature, priority, and payment method. Still in the client database, the nature here, the priority here, and the payment method here. And there is the contact type drop down here in the database. Sorry, in the communication tab. Here, there is the contact type, email or phone, how did you communicate with your client. And there is the statuses, which is the status of your communication here, whether the call is a no answer, cancelled, is it a follow-up, a closed, lost, or a meeting scheduled. These are the different statuses for your calls. Now, the setup for the tasks and project and invoices setup here, you are going to do the setup for the services name. This is in the invoices part. So if you go to the invoices part here you're going to write down the details, the number of the invoice, the date, the client name, the issue here, and date sent and the due date, the status here. This is the status of the invoice. And there are the services that you have sold for this client or you are billing your client for. So these are the list of services. And here in the setup here, you will need to write down the service name and the duration where you deliver this service and the price for each. Also, this that so once you choose a service, if you do this setup, so when you go to the invoices here and you choose any service, so for example here I'm gonna choose quick, you will find that the price is automatically populated here without any without having you go and review your books to know the price of the product. So this makes things easier for you. And for the tasks projects, this part is for the tasks and projects. You write down the status and you write the list of priorities. Here statuses will reflect this part, priorities will reflect this part, and then you write down the employees who are handling these tasks and projects, and this will uh, reflect in this part. Alright, now the other part is the income and expenses. This is this setup reflects in the income and expenses part or tab here, which are these two tabs. These are the list of income, sources of income, and these are the income categories, and these are the list of expenses categories. So the income categories will reflect here, and the expenses categories will reflect here. So you add or you delete, it affects the drop down list. Now this part is for the profit targets. You populate the profit targets for each month here, and so later on in our reports you will find the sheet comparing between the actual and the planned profit targets to see how much did you achieve from your planned target. And this will give you, this is an automatic output, it sums your targets and give you the whole figure here. These are the salespersons that are that you're going to use to sell your products, and these are here in the income tracker. You choose the source of the revenue or the source of the income, and you write down who was the salesman that is responsible for the sale. And that's it for the setup. Now I'm going to just hold and give you talk about the dashboard and the calendar. I'll talk about them in the end of this video. So let's now go to the client database. This is where you write down your clients. So here we chose to write down celebrities' names, as I told you. So we write down the client, the type of business, the email, the phone number, the address of the client. We are defining the client in our system, his nature, his priority as a client, what payment method that he usually uses, and when did we update this list. And this is the date in, the first date in, this is the start date and the end date of contracts, if any. These are the start dates and the end dates of contracts, if any. These are the start dates this is when he started this contract. This is when you input this contract into the system in this Google Sheet. And this when you started the relationship with the client. So this should be the same as that, but in other businesses you might start and sign the contract later. So we had it in two columns. So this is the start and this is the end date if it happens that the client ended the relationship. So for example here, if we have a client that started in January 2024 and then renewed in January 2025 and renewed in 26 and then ended the contract at 27, here we write that the start date was 24 and the end date is the 27, while here we write the latest contract, which is from the 1st of 2027 to the end of 2027, which was the last contract or the last active contract there. Now to the communication history. This is how you fill this, and if you have any notes, you write that. There is here a client highlighter tool. So if you want to see all the transactions for Angelina Jolie, for example, it will be highlighted here. And if you want to see all the inputs for Jim Carrey, you'll find it highlighted here. So the highlighter is very important tool here to make it easier for your eye to find things. Also the same here in the communication history, we have a highlight tool. You just choose the customer and he will be highlighted. So I chose here Denzel Washington. He's not here in my list, so there is no highlighting there. But if I choose Angelina Jolie, it will be highlighted automatically. Here in the communication history, I'm recording my communication to every client, so I should having more than one Will Smith because I'm going to contact him more than once. While in the client database, I'm going to list him only once because this is when I define my client. I define him only once on my system. Then here we're going to write down multiple communications, the client name, the phone number, the date I did the communication, who was the contact person, what was the contact type, the service I was trying to sell, did I reach him or not, the status, the due date, when should he close this deal, and what offers how did the negotiation go. So I write here the offers, and if there's any other notes that I need to add, I can add them here and column them. Now the invoices part. So in the invoices part here, you are going to issue invoices for the sold products. So if you sell product, you're going to issue an invoice for it. So you write the invoice number, the invoice date, the client name. You write now whether it is an invoice or a draft or an offer. So you issue anything for the client. You can issue even offers. You can track them here. This is the date sent. This is the due date. This is whether this was paid partially or paid in full. This column is coded. So because if you go here you'll find it coded. There is a code here, as you see, because it is linked to what you write down here versus the invoice amount here. So for example, this is the paid amount, and this is the due amount. So let's go here. This one is overpaid because he paid 15,000 and he overpaid the bill with an over 5,000, and this is the invoice amount. So here, for example, this invoice is a 7,000. The client paid 5,000, and it's here. It says that it's part paid. I can write down 7,000 here, and the status will automatically change to fully paid. Or I can remove the payment and it will automatically change to unpaid. So this is how it works. It works automatically, but we left you the liberty to change the status manually. But be aware that if you change the status manually here, it will not ever respond to the changes there. If you want to redo it, you just copy anyone with you just go here and copy the formula and just go to the uncoded part and you just paste it like that, and then it will respond to the number here. So if I go up there, I'll find places. This is not coded, this is not coded, this is not coded, this is not coded, this is not coded. So, and this obviously cancelled is a status that I choose. So I know that I chose this intentionally, so I'm not going to restore the code here, but this I'm going to just copy and paste those because I want to restore formulas here, 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 and here. So now if you find a place where, so I retrieve cancelled here, but when you start working with the sheet, you just copy this and paste it here so that it responds to the changes here in the amount. So you write the date sent, the due date, and the status as I explained. This is the last update for the invoice, and this is the payment summary. So here you write down the amount paid and the last payment, and this is the due amount. This, anything in this sheet that is shaded in this peach color, light peach color, means that it has a formula inside. So you do not ever do any changes in this area. Now you write down if there is any discount, and if you see here, if I write down a 10% discount there, it reflects here in the due amount. So this is a percentage, you choose a percentage there. And this is the tax amount. Sorry, once you populate those, the total amount will be populated here. The total amount, the discount that you gave, the tax that you gave, and the total amount. So for example, I want to know how much is a 10% discount. I write it here, and it says that the 10% discount for this case is $1,000. So if I want to give a 10% discount, it will be a $1,000 because the total invoice is at $10,000. So this is the discount, and these are the taxes, which is for 14% from the total invoice, which is a 10,000. How did you know that this invoice is a 10,000? Because this is the payment method, how the client paid, just to pass by this. And how did I know? Because here I'm going to choose the packages of that the client chose here. So he chose the platinum package, the quantity, and the price populates. So if I write it to, the price will adjust automatically. Not here, this is the price per package, but it will reflect here. This is the total invoice. Okay, now this is the service. This is for the first service. If he purchases more than one service, you just list down the services here, the count, and let's say he took one quick package, and these are the services for the client. It reflects here automatically in the total invoices, because one 10,000, the 20,000, and this is a 3,001, it is a 23, and this is a 23 here. With taxes, it's 26, 20, 220, and this is how you do the invoice. Now, there is one trick here. This column here is where you send invoices to the invoices printer, which is the next thing here, is the invoices printer. So how you send things to the invoices printer? You just click here on this marker here, and note when I clicked here and there was one marked, it just was highlighted in purple to give you heads up, because you can only choose one invoice to be sent to the invoice printer. See here, let me show you how. So I'm going to choose this invoice, which is 108, or let's choose one that is 107. This is the invoice I'm sending to the invoice printer. Let's go. You'll find the invoice, client name, this logo will appear, and this is the issue date and the due date. This is the type of the invoice. This is the package, the quantity, the price, and the total. This is the subtotal and taxes and discount, everything, and this is the total, and your company website is here. Note here, if I choose, for example, this, go back to the invoices printer, you will find the invoices printer giving you a reference value here, and it is not, it got confused. It's just giving you wrong numbers in wrong places here, because again, you should, if you want to choose this, then you have to remove this one and go to the invoices printer to find your invoice automatically populated here, so that you can print it to your client. So remember, only choose one invoice to be sent to the invoices printer. Okay, moving on to the tasks and projects. Very simple here. You will find here any tasks for today. So for today is the 7th of September. So if I change this to 7th of September, it and make it that it is in progress, and sorry, the due date is in 7th of September. You'll find it here, and it will find it highlighted in red to give you heads up that this is due today. So this little space up on the right here is to alert you or draw your attention for tasks that are due today, as you see. And this tab generally is for the tasks and projects that you need to take care of. So you write down the task, the client related to, start date, priority, due date, the status, the responsible person. And when the case is done, remember to just take it out like that. And also, if you want to add a status here to say that the task is completed, it's fine. But do not forget to also tick this to take out the project. All right. Uh, that's that project's invoices covered. Now for the income and expenses. This is very easy here. This is a highlight tool. If you want to highlight by only the client, you delete those by just hitting the delete, the key that says delete in your keyboard, and you write down, you just choose the client name. All the transactions related to Jim Carrey are highlighted in yellow now. Now I want the transactions for Jim Carrey that are, let's say, equipment rentals. So only the equipment rentals Jim Carrey will be highlighted there, as you see. Now I want an invoice number specifically, so I'm going to choose 123. This is the invoice I'm searching for. Now I was very specific, and the highlighter tool spotted that for me immediately. So that's the highlighter tool. This is the tax rate. So the tax rate that you're going to type here is going to reflect automatically in the sheet, and same as this will be the tax rate that is most common. It will appear here in this column, and if you decide to not use it, you just write it automatically here. And if you want to redo it, you just copy a cell where it has the formula and you paste it here, and it will be automatically copied. I know that most of you would like to type it manually, so here are the two options. Here you will find the total income. This is the amount, this is the net amount, this is the tax amount. Here you're going to populate the invoice number, the date, the category as you recorded them in the setup, the total amount, the tax. Here the net amount will be calculated automatically, the tax amount will be calculated automatically, and the company name or the client name, the method, the payment method, and who is the salesperson responsible for this income transaction. Also here, very interesting thing, that if you want to see the invoice, you just click here and the sheet will automatically take you to this invoice to view it. So that was for the income transactions. For the expenses here, there is one point that I didn't mention here, the reconciliation. For every income transaction, you have to check the transaction with the bank to double check or review it before you approve it. So anything you check, you just check this box. Anything you don't check, you uncheck this box. And then later on, there is a reconciliation tab to just view all the transaction and see all the reviewed and unreviewed transactions. Same for expenses. There is a check box. There is a checkbox in this column. You check if you review the entry. If you don't review it, you keep it unchecked. This is the total expense amount, the total tax amount, and the total net amount. This is the tax rate, and this is a graph about that represents the tax amount of the net amount. This is the highlight tool. It chooses you choose what is the category that you want to highlight, with the same exact approach we used in the income transactions. This works exactly the same. You write down the ID, you write down the ID, you write down the commission, and it highlights automatically. ID and commission and the category, and it highlights automatically. And this graph is to represent what's happening here in the table. Now going to the reconciliation tab here. In the reconciliation tab, you can choose whether you want the income, the expenses, or the income. and you choose which transactions do you want to see. Do you want to see the checked or do you want to see the unchecked? The total will appear here, and you can choose the period where you want to see those transactions. This is the monthly overview here. The monthly overview is very simple. You choose what do you want to see. You want to see the totals, and do you want to see it, which month do you want to see it in. You just write down the month and you will find the figures changing accordingly. We have a figure for the income versus expenses, the income breakdown, the actual versus target, the income payment methods, the expenses breakdown, the expenses by payment method. Here is the annual dashboard here, or the annual overview. You choose again the type of the amounts you want to see, and for the expenses and for the income. So I choose the net in expenses. I take the amounts for the net of expenses, and I choose the net in the income, so I can compare the net income and the net expenses here. And also here I'm going to have the net income displayed here and the net expenses displayed here, and the cash flow and profits and taxes. This table here is a manual input. You just write down the VAT taxes collected and taxes paid automatically for each month. The budget here is easy. You write down the previous balance from and to, and this is the category. You're going to write down your budget for each category here before you start, and then the actual will be displayed here. And if you, for example, let's say I'm going to have to 1 Jan 2025, from 1 June 2024 to 1 Jan 2025 here. 5. Yeah, this is what I planned, this is what I actually got, and this is what I planned for the budget, and this is what I actually spent. So it gives me a figure of how everything is going on. That's for the budget. For the period, custom period overview, you choose the period from to, and you get all the figures. You get the income, net income, the net expenses, the table breakdown for the income, the table breakdown for the expenses, and here you just choose whether this is a direct cost or an operating cost to be used here in the matrices. So the matrices would give you an accurate figures. Finally, here the balance. The balance here is where it tells you the incomes and expenses and the balance for each category, for each account here. So that's the cash. This is the payment methods. So it tells you this payment method, how much did you receive in total, how much did you spend in total with using this payment method, and what's the balance. And you just choose the period from when to when, and if you want it until today, you just mark this box and you get here the total balance. That's very easy. And that's it. We have taken you on a tour on this all-in-one sheet that actually has it all, makes your life easier, makes your business viewed in a better way. And good luck with this comprehensive tool, and congratulations, you are on your way to business success. Thank you so much.